Breaking in the UK right now, digital veteran cards have officially launched and are said to be serving as a case study for digital ID. The card, it's not a card, is it? It's on your phone, which is optional, allegedly aims to give those who served in the military a quicker way to prove their status more easily to get access to services that they are entitled to. Let's get the take of Army veteran Gary Doyle. Gary, good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening on The Late Show Live. Now, how do you feel about digital ID and using veterans as guinea pigs?
I don't trust it one bit. It's dangerous, isn't it? Your personal information could get easily hacked online, especially as a veteran as well. Yeah, it's just a way of controlling us, really, isn't it?
And so, what's the logic, do you think, Gary, the fact that they're using veterans? Because my suspicion is that some veterans will be more elderly, maybe, retired soldiers and servicemen and women. And one of the arguments against digital ID will be, quite rightly, that the older people in our population don't necessarily have smartphones. They aren't as comfortable with this technology. And therefore, this experiment will be used to say, look, our beloved veterans, they can do it. They've reported how wonderful it is. So then everyone can do it. That's what's going on here, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. A lot of elderly won't use smartphones. A lot of young people now are turning to the old phones as well and getting rid of the smartphones. I've got a veterans ID card here. This is good enough. We don't need digital ID. It's not safe. Anyone could access it and it could get leaked as personal information, especially if we've done operational tours, could put us at risk.
Yeah, so your concern is more about the safety aspect and the breach of your own data. Let me bring in my panel here, Sarah and Ashley as well, to talk about this. I have an incredibly strong opinion on this issue of digital ID because I think it's the key that takes us into the digital cage, frankly. Absolute control will inevitably be given to governments in collaboration with private businesses. It's the stuff of nightmares. It's not something talked about here, Ashley. This isn't even apparently on the horizon here in America. And how would Americans feel about it? Having all of your life on a phone, on an app, everything from your social security details, your income, your tax, your health status, your work, what you look at online, all there in one hideous file for every person.
Right. Well, this reminds me a lot of what's going on with TikTok and, the Chinese coming in trying to steal our data, security concerns, national security concerns that take place because of these things. It feels like something like I would call a globalization tactic in a lot of ways. I think it's very concerning, just on many factors. Of course, we have our own issues just within using photo ID for voting within the United States, and that's just a regular paper card that's covered in plastic. It's not a conversation we're currently having here, but I find it immensely concerning.
Yeah, Sarah, how about you as a Brit living here? Because we have to give ID much more regularly here in America. Even just buying a bottle of wine at the supermarket, they put your date of birth into the till. I find that mind-blowing, really. I find it deeply uncomfortable. I don't like it. It's giving me a real sense of what the future is going to look like in the UK. But this is being pushed through now, and I don't know how we push back.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, the Labour government have made it very clear that this is a dry run for Keir Starmer and his full digital ID plan. I think, where's the respect there for our veterans? One thing I can tell our British viewers is that here in America there is, many problems around veteran services and support, a deep respect for those who serve. The days that are held in commemoration of the work and service, but everyone you meet, right? So if I'm with American friends and colleagues, if they know someone who has served or is currently serving, it is very common to say thank you for your service. So GB viewers who are veterans, thank you for your service. I wish we had more of that in Britain. Look, as far as these digital ID cards are aimed at helping veterans in the UK access services, fantastic. But whilst it is optional at this stage, there is real concerns about, as you've pointed out, Bev, the issues of people who don't necessarily have those digital skills, who aren't digitally native, being able to download this. There's also a huge amount of veterans who suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder this kind of thing feels like an obstacle and a potential barrier to accessing services. And again, coming back to, this is a test case. The Labour government have been really open about that. Our veterans in the UK deserve respect, not to be in some kind of trial run for a government ID plan.
Yeah, let me just read to you what Ian Murray, the Minister for Digital Government, says. He says the launch of this card, it's not a card, is about making the lives of veterans easier to access government services and the benefits of that card, rather than being about demonstrating the wider issues that you talk about in terms of digital ID. But I just, for our veteran here, for Gary, does it make any sense to you? As you say, you can access these services already. There isn't a problem that needs fixing by this digital ID, is there?
No. We've got a physical phone, that's all we need. It does speed things up, when accessing charities and stuff like that. But we don't need a digital one. Like you say, not everyone's got smartphones, so it's pointless. It's just a scam. It's a money-making scam as well. Someone's going to be pocketing off this.
I wonder, Gary, as well, somebody is going to be pocketing off it. There's no doubt about it. There's money to be made. Imagine it makes the whole world into a data set eventually. Data is profitable. Somebody will be making money from it. But Gary, I wonder, with you guys, with veterans, tend to be, and I mean this complimentary in a way, but you tend to be, people in the armed services, they adhere to respect and authority. They are taught to do as they're told effectively, even though I know that there's not a soldier alive that doesn't have a little bit of metal in them to push back and have a little bit of scepticism. But there is a sense in which you are taught to obey authority. And is that why they've gone after veterans first and foremost? Because you will respect authority?
Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I think it's just we're probably the ones what they can find easily to experiment on first, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
And do you have any sense how other servicemen and how other veterans feel about being used in this way? Are you in communication with many others? Is everyone just going to have to shrug and accept it, or are people pushing back?
I think a lot of lads are going to be pushing back and just refuse to do it. They don't need to do it because they've already got a physical ID card. So, a lot of veterans don't feel safe about the information's going to be online, because it could be a threat. Do you know what I mean? What we used to do and that lot, it could be dangerous used.
Yeah, very good point, actually. Very good point, because in some way you are the most vulnerable group of people.
Yeah, our information could end up. Our information could end up in the hands of a terrorist or someone who's. Do you know what I mean? It's dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, from us, from GB News, thank you for your service, Gary Doyle there, Army veteran, and thank you for contributing tonight to that. Right.